All right, we'd like to kick off today's media availability for the Go Bowling 400 at Kansas Speedway with Paul Menard, driver of the number 27 FVP Menard Chevrolet for Richard Childress Racing. Paul is coming off a 9th place finish at Talladega last weekend. Paul, can you talk about bringing that momentum with you to Kansas Speedway this weekend?
Well, totally different racetrack, obviously, but we struggled with some finishes this year for sure. So getting a solid top 10 last week was a good momentum booster. Kansas has always been a really good track for us. We've led laps here, been in top 5 a few times, and had good runs. So definitely looking forward to getting back on a 1.5 miles and seeing where our program is. We struggled at some early 1.5 miles at Atlanta. Had a really good run at Vegas going until we had some circumstances. So looking forward to getting back on it at Kansas and see what we got.
Excellent. With that, we'll open it up for questions. If you have a question, please raise your hand. We'll get a mic to you.
Danny Welniak, KCTV5. What is your favorite part about Kansas Speedway? What do you enjoy about this track?
Well, normally, like the fall race is a day race, so I bring my daughter loves it here with the playground and basketball courts, and my wife's from Iowa, so she's close by, so we get to see some family. But you know, this weekend being a night race, my family didn't come with, so I just enjoy the surface is aging, makes really good racing. You know, the old surface was really wore out, slippery. Then they paved it and took a few years, but now it's you can run all over the track, so it makes for a really fun race as a driver and as a fan.
Go to Jerry right here.
Jerry Jordan, KickingTheTires.net and Performance Racing Network. Have two. First one, this is Mother's Day weekend. Can you talk about any plans for Mother's Day, and also your performance so far this season? How do you rate your season where we're at?
Mother's Day plans, I think my wife booked a brunch for us on Sunday, so we'll get back late, obviously, Saturday night, but you know, get a couple hours of sleep and go get a good brunch with her. Outside of that, no plans, just kind of hang at the house. Hard to rate our season. We're 24th or 5th in points, so we need a win to get in the chase at this point. I don't think we can points our way in, so we got to roll the dice and make some things happen. So been a pretty disappointing year for sure, but it's there's a lot of promise. You know, with Ryan winning at Phoenix, you know, they pulled some strategy to get a win, and I feel like we can do the same thing. Well, honestly, our intermediate track program has been probably our weakest link. We've been fairly strong on the short tracks. Martinsville, we had a good car and got hung out at the end, but Bristol, we had definitely a top 10 going. Richmond, we just missed it, but intermediate tracks have been historically been my strength, and this year they've been my weakness. So that's another reason why I'm looking forward to get back on track. We're trying some different things from what we've learned in the previous intermediates to go all out this weekend.
We'll go next over here.
Summer Bad, good KickingTheTires.net. This is pretty late in the season to have a night race. Normally at this time we've had more. Do you like having fewer night races earlier in the season, or do you wish we still had more of a variety there?
I like night races. Usually a night race means that we get a Sunday off, so that's always good, a day at home with the family. So that's cool. I like night races just from the standpoint it's just a different excitement factor, I think, with the sparks flying and more like a Saturday night race. You know, what most of us grew up doing was racing on Friday nights and Saturday nights, so kind of throws it back a little bit. And then the Sundays is obviously an added bonus, but I wish we had more Saturday night races for sure. Just you know, when it's night out, it's cooler, obviously, but the fall race is generally fairly cool here in October, so the temperature doesn't play a whole lot, just how the sun hits the racetrack. Usually more grip in the spring night race and a little more slippery in the fall. It seems like the fall race is always really windy, too, and this is one of the worst tracks for wind. The way the wind hits the track, I think, comes from like turn 4, turn 3. and there's no grandstands there, and there's no signage or anything to block the wind, so it's probably the worst track for wind as far as affecting the cars.
We'll go to Chris and then to Jerry.
Looking ahead to Charlotte, can you just talk about going there and being back home for a couple of weeks?
Yeah, so obviously the All-Star Weekend's always kind of a fun weekend. We get to roll the dice and just try some different out-of-the-box things to try to learn from the next weekend. It's almost like a test session. So we'll be in the, I don't know what they call it now, the showdown, I guess, on Saturday to transfer into the All-Star race. And I feel really good about what we're attempting to try. Very minimal things on the race car, obviously, like all of our cooling systems and things will be taken out. We'll be trying to get as light as we can and see what we can learn with setup. Maybe try a different spindle or some different out-of-the-box ideas that we want to apply that we really can't because we can't test. So it's going to be a hit or miss.
Go to Chris.
Chris Knight, GetFence.com. Paul, 2 questions for you. You know, do you guys feel like that you guys haven't improved from this season compared to last, or do you feel like the competition has really caught up as far as a whole, that a lot of the teams are just getting better that weren't so good last year?
Yeah, you know, the competition's as good as it's ever been, I think, right now with, you know, Ganassi's emerged from last year, from the last couple of years. I think Ganassi's a really strong team. Obviously, you still have the, you know, Hendricks and Penske and Gibbs. Gibbs doesn't seem to be as strong this year. We're in the mix. We're not. We're at like the B level. We need to get up to the A level. But then you see, you know, cars like teams like Furniture Row. I'm sorry, Front Row Motorsports, which you know, I think they've improved and they're competing for top 20s now. And obviously Furniture Row with the second car is very competitive. So I think the whole competitiveness of the field is greater now than it has been the last few years.
And then there's been a lot of chatter about what we can expect for 2018 as far as the schedules, and there's a lot of talk and hope that maybe we'll get a road course race somewhere, whether it's Charlotte or, you know, there's even been some talk this week about maybe Indy throwing in the road course race, part of the Indianapolis weekend. So would you be open, or would you be okay with having a road course in the Chase, even if it was at Charlotte?
Yeah, I love road racing. It's kind of my background. Actually, I didn't run my first oval till I was 16, and I was racing for 8 years at that point. So, but now if I did, you know, 34 road races a year and 2 ovals, I want more ovals. So I think we need a better mix of it. But yeah, I mean, I've never been around the road course at Charlotte. I've seen it. I drove around it on the Christmas lights, seen the lights, but I don't know how that is for a racetrack. Obviously, it's a great surface for Legends cars and maybe some sports cars and things, but I don't know how a stock car race would go there. But I know they had a successful test with AJ over the winter. I think there's a lot of really great road courses in America that would lend us to not have to go to Charlotte road course, but a road course is road course, and I'm all for it.
Any additional questions for Paul? Thank you, Paul. Good luck this weekend.
All right. Thank you.